can you view the PDF file?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, so taking this in full screen mode. So this one is. So these are the contents which basically that indicates what you are going to cover into this and next session probably. So first we'll talk about the data extractions, which one is the main part of our webinar. Then we'll discuss merging different data files. Then we'll talk about the appending data file, generation of unique ID and weight variable, usage of weight, and in last we move on to the tabulations. And if time left, then we will discuss few other things like generating labor force, workforce, and unemployment. So in economics, we use those terms as a labor force participation rate, workforce participation rate, unemployment rate. So that we will do in the last and time left. Otherwise, we ourselves restrict up to this much only. So for extracting, these are some important files which we use when do extracting. So the first one is the read view file, then after the layout file, data file, and questionnaire. These all file together. These all file is we together use while extracting the data. The procedure of data extractions are as such. So first what you do, you create a folder and place all our data into that. In a second step, we open this data and check our present working directory. And if required, we change our present working directory and make the data folder as a present working directory. So that one is the third step. In a fourth step, we move on to making a dictionary file. And this one is very, very, very important for a data extraction part. If you have made a mistake in a dictionary file, then we will end up extracting incorrect data. So you have to do every precautions while making a dictionary file. And once we made dictionary file, we save that into the folder that we have created. And after then, we use this particular command in file using this one. HHV1 is dictionary file name and HH101 is the file name. So you'll come onto this when we will extract the data set. So we use this particular command. When we use this particular command, our data set will be extracted and we see our data set giving any name. Here you have, I have name is save HH _ FB. And we repeat all these procedure for extracting the other data file. So let's first discuss how we make the dictionary file. So for making a dictionary file, steps are we open layout data file and then you have a look on the format of dictionary file. Or you reverse the sequence. First you have a look on format of dictionary file and then you work on layout file. So how the dictionary file looks like? So it looks like this. So this one is the format of dictionary file and you have to make a dictionary file as like this. So In the top of this, we write in file dictionary, curly bracket start, and in curly bracket, we are having this much of information. Each one you uh, can say the different information is stacked in a different column. So in the first column, it is starting with the str4. So initially you are having some alphabet, then after number. The second column of this one is the variable name. Third one is start with the percentage. Then you are having some numbers, then S, and the fourth column one is uh, under inverse bracket. You are having a different names. So I will explain you what all these are and how we will make a dictionary file. So, so after uh, you can say the placing all these entry in between, we close in between the curly brackets. In last, we close the dictionary file with the curly bracket. So our dictionary file is ready. So this one is for how we read the dictionary file. So I, I copied a part of the dictionary file here just to have an you can say the better idea about the dictionary file. So this one is a single line that I copied from the dictionary file. So as I told to you, the first column of the dictionary file start with some alphabet, and then after it is having number. So each row of the dictionary file in a first column, what you are having some letters and then after number. File one is the variable name. You can name the variable name according to your own convenience. So in a second column, you are having variable name. Third column one is starting with the percentage, then after you are having number, then letter S. And if you look closely and compare the first column and third column, so first and third column is having a one common, you can see numbers. That one is 4 here. If I go back onto the format of dictionary file, so look here, in a first and third column, you are having a common number. And this one is very, very important for us. And in the fourth column, what you are having name of the variable. This will be for labeling variables. So this one is. So as I told you, we use layout file for making a dictionary file. So let's discuss about what layout file is. This one is layout file. Can you see the layout file? Hello?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this one is the layout file.
Yes.
We get layout file in an Excel format. So I think from the 61st round of data set, you will get layout file in the Excel format. And if you want to work the data file uh, provided by NSSO before that, I think before 99 2000, you will get a layout file in a text format. So since when we started getting layout file in a text in an Excel format, extraction become easier. Extraction will be difficult when we get when we have the layout file in a text format. And of course, when we are able to success to convert text file into Excel file, so again that section become easier. So this one is the layout file, and when we look upon the layout file, you can see that layout file is divided into different parts. So look here, the first part here belong to household underscore this file name only household, or you can say read here PLF household label data 2089. The second part one is personal level data first credit schedule. Third part one is here in this one is personal level data revisit schedule. So in PLFS, we are having only three, you can say, parts of layout file, and each part we call level. So here you are having a three level, you may say level 1, level 2, level 3. When we work with the other round of data set, we will get many levels. That means the layout file divided into many parts with the in some of the cases it layout file divided into 16 parts. So in that case, you can say you are having a 16 level. So each part called here a level. So in the first level belong to two data file in this PLFS case. Otherwise, each level belong to one unique data file. When I say one layout level belong to one data file, so to understand that you have to look on the data file. And if you have a look on the data file, then let me move on to the PPT. So data file looks something like this. This one is the household level first visit data file. So each data file, irrespective of which level that belong to, that comes into this format only. So when you open your data file, we see we see some numbers and many of you see some letters and many numbers, and it is very hard to make any sense out of that. So again, here as we see here, if you want, if I say you to make a sense out of this data file, of course you can't make any sense. No one can make any sense about this.
Moderator. Moderator, kindly fix it.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, call was disconnected. I don't know why. So where I was.
Also, sir, sorry to interrupt. Can you please ask all the participants to mute their audio and audio as well?
Just a minute. Let me start presenting again. Then I will take your query if you have any till now. Okay. I'm presenting something else. Then I will present. So this I was presenting before you. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, so before resuming my task of presentation, so if you have any doubt, then that you discuss with me, or you write in a chat box. I'll pick your doubt from there. Hello. So I'm assuming no one having any doubt till now. So where I had lost the presentations. Shivani.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. My
Uh,
connection got disrupted. I
okay.
just came back.
Okay. So I'm asking. Okay, I lost my presentations a few minutes
Yes, sir.
before. So
Yes.
where I lost till how much
So
I presented.
you were telling us about the format of the layout file, that it is available in Excel format as in the present data set. So we're telling about the format of the layout file.
Okay. So whenever you are having a layout file in a Excel format, data extraction become easier. For a older NSSO data set before 1999 2000 data set, generally you get layout file in a text format, and if you are able to convert that text data file into the Excel data file, that would be good for us. In that case, extraction become easier. Otherwise, extraction become a bit cumbersome. So why it is so? Uh, that you will understand when I use Excel file for making a dictionary file. So since you use this Excel Excel layout file in making a dictionary file, so let's understand first what this layout file belong to, what are the informations given here, and how do we use all these informations in making dictionary file. So this one is a format of the layout file. So as I told you, this layout file divided into different parts. So in PLFF case, this layout divided into 3 parts, and each part we call one label. So we named each part of layout file as a label. So the first part one is first label, the second part one is the second label, and so on. And in NSSO case, except this PLFS case, each label file and each level of layout file correspond to one data file. Only in this case, in PLFS case, first level of layout file correspond to two data sets, and it is because both of those data sets contain similar information. The one in a case of first visit, the another one is case of revisit. About the first visit and revisit, we will get to know when we read the description of PLFS survey. Other rest of the level of layout file again here belong to the one data file. And with the other survey, we will get 16th level of layout file. That is, in those survey layout file may divided into 16 parts, may be divided up to the 16 parts. So let's read. Let's try to read this first level of this layout file. So as you see here, the first one is, you can say, the name of the this label, the PLFS household label data, and in the second row we are having a file information, household underscore first visit, household underscore revisit. So as I said, this particular label belong to or correspond to two data set. So the first data one is here, first household first visit data set, and the second one is household revisit data set. So every layout file having this explanation. So if a particular layout file having a 16 level, so we will get a 16 corresponding data set for each level of layout file. So here you are having a two, since this particular level will correspond to two data files. So we are having a two data file name here, HH underscore FB and HH underscore RB. After that, you can see this layout file divided into 6 columns, and you can say that each level of this layout file divided into 6 columns. Even you move on to the second level of this layout file, then again it is divided into 6 columns. Sorry, 6, not 6, 7 columns. The first one is the serial number. So things are arranged in a sequence. So you are having a serial number. The second one is the file name, which we also call the variable name, which we also call a kind of information that we collect from the questionnaire. The third one is the block, and the fourth one is the item oblique column. So let's first understand what this block means, what this item means, and to know about the block and item column number, we have to move on to the questionnaire.
Krishna,
So, yeah.
Krishna, sorry to disturb. Share your screen because we are not able to see presentation.
Let me check. I am presenting.
You are not presenting right now because we are able to see your video, your face, not the slides.
We are able to see the presentation. So maybe it's in your settings.
You can see the presentation, you'll have to pin it according.
I off my video. So
Tap on the pin button.
okay, many of you are able to see the presentation.
I'm checking my setting. Okay.
Okay, so this one is questionnaire. So again, you can see the questionnaire divided into different parts, and each part we call a block. So the first part starting with the zero under full bracket, then after it having a description of this part, descriptive identification of sample FSU. So this one is the first block. The second part one is first block, identification of sample FSU. And again, in each block, we are having an item number, then after item name, and then code and other things. So item number 1 is in layout file. This one is our layout file. So this one is the item number 2314. And item 1 is in our layout file full name. So as I said, you may call this one is a variable, you may call this one is information item. So in a questionnaire, it is named as a item. So if you read the block and item oblique column number together, so in case of schedule, so schedule 1 is schedule and information of schedule is given in a second item of first block. So let's see here. So this one is our first block and the second item number 1 is schedule number. So accordingly you can read the block and item numbers of in case of other variables. So like take an example, district code. So the district code information is given in a first block and it is item number 4 in a first block. Or you can say it is a fourth item number of first block. So fourth item number of first block contains district code information. Similarly, if you go down, so in case of social group, which one comes onto the 24th serial number, so it is a fourth item number of third block. So the next one is field length, and this one is very, very important, field length. Because if you remember when I was talking about the dictionary file, so dictionary file is starting with this letter str, then after it is having number. So that number belongs to this field length 4322212. And after field length, you are having a byte position 1 to 4, 6 to 7, 8 to 9. So let's understand what this byte position means and how we link field length with the byte position. So as I told you, NSSO provide data in a let me present in this format, and this which we call the unit level data. When we get a data in a such a format, we call the data set one is the unit level data set. Here we also call that as a row format, but the format of this data set one is fixed wide format. The name of this format one is the fixed wide format. And fixed wide format, I mean, since if you will start with the first letter, which one is F, the first letter F is placed as a first byte position. Second letter one is the second letter, which one is V here. V here is the second byte position. H1 is the third, and so on. This one I'm talking about. So FBH, if I say FBH, and I may assume that this FBH belong to a particular information. So we can say FBH placed in between first to third position. That means the first variable, which may be you can say maybe FBH. I'm making a hypothetical assumptions, having a byte positions 1 to 3. And what is the length of the first variable with this byte position? This one is 3. So that one is here 1 to 4. So 1 to 4 one is the first information, first item number. So first item number placed in this text data file, you can say the text format, and it is having a first to 4 position, and the length of this particular variable is 4 byte, and it is placed between 1 to 4. The second variable one is having a 3 byte length, and it is placed after first variable. Which one is the file identification? So file identification is placed, you can say, the first 4-byte column, and the second one is 5 to 7, the third one is 8 to 9. So if I divide our data set into different columns like this, so you can say the first 4-byte positions belong to first variable, the second 3-byte position belong to second variable, next 2-byte position, which one is the Q5, one is our quarter variable, and so on. And if you are able to distinguish all these variables from this data set, okay, that means you have done our extractions part, and that part we call extraction. And for doing this, we require to make a dictionary file first, and we'll make dictionary file using this layout file. So this field length is important to us. And these are the byte positions. So this byte position start with 1, and it goes up to 86 in a first layout file. In a second layout file, again, it is starting with the 1 and going up to a long 319 byte position. And the last one is remark. So remark, NSSO use when NSSO generate a new variable and or want to explain a particular variable. So like in this case, visit. So V1 is first visit, V2 is second visit, and V3 one is third visit, and so on. At the end, on 29 serial number, you are having an NSS, NSC, and subsample wise multiplier variable, which we call MLT. So this will use when to generate a multiplier. So we'll talk about the multiplier later. So NSSO use reward positions when NSSO generate a new variable by themselves or explain a particular variable. So you can see here the layout file contains a name of the variable. Then after you having information of block, item, field length, and byte.
We can't see.
Sir, someone else is presenting the screen.
Anabutullah Vijay Kumar. I request Anabutullah Vijay Kumar to stop presenting. Hello.
Everyone can pin Dr. Krishna's screen. There's a pin symbol if you go on it.
Can you see my presentation now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then, thanks. Let's continue then. So this one is the layout file. You can read our layout file as like this that I told to you. Let's move on to our presentation. So we talked about the reading dictionary file. We talked about the reading layout file. And as I told you, each level corresponds to one data file that I explained here. And I written everything, whatever I told you just now. So if anyone have missed something, so I will share my presentation with all of you. We just have a look onto that. So this one also I have talked to you in a fixed byte format. As I told you, each. Okay. I'm explaining a data file of it. This is not much. Here I forget to talk. Told you each row belongs to one cross-sectional unit, and information pertaining to each cross-sectional unit are placed in a byte position. I think I talked. This I talked. This I talked. Okay, so let's continue with the step of making dictionary file. So So the one way of making the dictionary file is to open do file in Stata and make entry as suggested in the format. So, but making an entry as like this is not only time consuming, but it is a cumbersome, and there is a more chances of making error. And the second approach one is to use Excel file. So I'm moving again onto the format of the dictionary file. And why I'm saying if you type all these things onto your do file, it is not only a time consuming, but it is there's a better chances of having a error. So let's look like this. So if you want to make a you want to type all these things onto your do file, then you have to type a string, then 4, then after having a space 5 percentage 4s under uh, inverted comma file identification and so on. So of course we avoid spending much time on it, and so instead of typing all these things onto a do file, what we do, we use Excel file. So 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 we open a blank Excel sheet. This one is the second approach I'm talking about. Instead of going typing all these things, so the second approach is use of Excel file, and this one is the visual of Excel file that we generate. So look here in a one in the first column you are having only str letters. So you type str letter and you scroll down, we'll get str in all row. Then after this one is having a second, in a second column you are having a number 43221, and this one is the field length of the layout file. So if you are making a first level dictionary file, we have to copy field length from there, and you copy field length from there and paste it in. And the third column one is nothing else, but it is a concatenating informations of first and second column. So str4, when we join str and 4 using concatenating command, you will get the third column. Fourth column one is variable name. So here you have a you can see you have a choice to make name or name your name variable according to your own convenience. So that you will do like in I use file as a variable name for file identification, schedule for a schedule, quarter for a quarter, and so on. Then after you put percentage in all rows. So type percentage in first row and scroll down, you will get percentage in all rows. Then after again you are having a number here, and look here, this column number this column is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Sixth column number is same as second column number. So this means this column number is nothing else but it is a field length. Then after you are having S, so type S, scroll down, you'll get all in S in all rows, and immediate next column is again a concatenating of fifth, sixth, and seventh column. Percentage 4S. Then after put an inverted comma in all rows, pick a file name information from the layout file, paste it here, then put in again inverted comma, and then you concatenate. And when we do this, making a dictionary file becomes very easier. That means within a 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you will be able to make your dictionary file. And once you have a command over it, within a few minutes, you are able to make your dictionary file. So the steps are written here, and I have detailed each and every steps, like starting with the open a blank Excel sheet. In a first column of Excel sheet, make a entry str till 32 row. Why 32 row? That if you have a look on layout file, so the serial number start with 1 and it goes up to 32. So that's why I written here to make an entry str till 32 row. As you are having a 32 variable in level 1. Second column, again, as I told you, this belongs to a variable name. Sorry, the second column make an entry of field variable length as given in an Excel file. So we just copied field length from the layout file and paste it in a second column of Excel sheet, and so on. So these are the all description which I just told to you. You go through all this when you face any problem, and once you did that, once you did till 13th steps, as a 14th step, you required to copy 3rd, 4th, 8th, and 12th column and paste it as a number in separate Excel sheet. Like in this case, all concatenating things like third column, 4th column, 8th column, and 13th column. I think this one is, or 12th column. So the last column. So you have to copy this one and paste into a separate Excel sheet. Or if you directly copy this one and paste into your do file. So that one is 14th step. So you have to copy 3rd, 4th, 8th, and 12th column and paste it as a number in a separate Excel sheet. Now open do file, type in file dictionary, copy and paste entries of Excel file that you have created just now. So 3rd, 4th, 8th, and 12th column entry you have to paste it here, and you have to save it as a dictionary file. And you can name anything. Right here I name household underscore first visit. So this dictionary file belongs to a household first visit dictionary file. And with this, you have made your dictionary file, first visit dictionary file. So now our dictionary file is ready. For extracting data set, what we do, we open this data, check our directory. So your directory folder must be the folder where we save your all data. All data I mean to say the data set that you want to extract plus dictionary file plus other documents. And then after we have to use this particular command in file using hfb.dictionary, which one is our dictionary file name, using under bracket hh104 underscore fb. This one is the data file name. So the first one is the dictionary file name, the second one is the data file name. And once we enter this particular command, your data it will be extracted. So you can say that these are the we can say the theory behind extracting the data set. So the first level of the the first data file, or you can say the first level data file extracted. The same you repeat the procedure for the other level of the level of data file. So in an FHS case, you are having a 4 data file. The one is first visit household data file, revisit household data file, personal level, first visit data file, and personal level revisit data file. So you have to repeat the procedure for each level of data file. So you have to make a 2 more dictionary file. One belongs to the personal level first visit data file, and the second one is the personal level revisit data file. For a household revisit data file, we can use the first level dictionary file. And we are able to do so because both of the data file, revisit household data file and first visit household data file, contain similar information or contain same variables. So that's why we are able to use one level of dictionary file extracting two data file only in the case of PLI. So there are some important notes after extractions, and those are: every time when we extract, match the number of record from the readme file. Number of record is number of observation, and to get a number of observation you use count command. You type count in its data command window, you will get an account. Why I am doing so? So look, this one is the readme file. These are the file name, data file name, HHB11, HHRB, and so on. Number of records are here. So the first data household data file, or first household first visit data file, contains 1,01,579 observation, and each observation belongs to one household. So every time when we extract data, please match number of observations with the number of record here. Sometimes what happens, if you do the extraction properly, every time your number of record match with your number of observation match with the readme file. But if you work with the latest round of we can say education and health survey data set along with the disability survey data set, you'll face a problem when your number of observations do not match with the number of records given in the data file, and you always get a one less observation in all the data file disability which NSSO recently published. I am talking about the health. One is the special survey, NSSO do the health surveys once in a 10th year, but recently NSSO released health data set after 5 years. Similarly with the education data set and with the disability data set. I think that would be the 50, 76, 77, that we have to check that one. If you go on the MSP website, from where we have downloaded the data set, those data set also given there. So when we extract those data set, your number of records or your number of observations one less whatever mentioned in the readme file, and that is because of a technical glitch. Because again in there the data file are in text format, but when we extract the data file, somehow the last observations missed from extracting. And when I was doing with that data set, it was really surprising. Surprised me. I checked my dictionary file several times. I work with the other level of layout file data set, but each and every case I was getting one less number of observations. So it was you can say the really surprising for why I am getting one less number of which observation is missing from the data set. Of course, when you work with the lakhs observation, one observation hardly matter, irrespective what level that what value level that observation having. So one observation hardly matter. When you calculate the statistics, you always get a correct statistic, especially average statistics. But when things comes to get a number, so again you will get almost the similar number. Probably 100, 200 less numbers of a particular statistic, but more or less you will get the correct numbers also. But the question is why I were getting a one less number of observations, and what was the solution of that? So the solution of that is only you open your text file and repeat last observations twice. So you make another entry from your side as a last entry of in a data file, copying last entry of the data file, and you do extraction again, you will get a correct number of observation, and that will match with the number of the record. So I hope if any of you work with those data set, will do this particular and you adopt this particular mode of solution. So, okay, so moving on to the presentations. This one is for extracting data file from other unit level data file. The next one is weight and unique ID. So weight one is the multiplier. So since this one is a sample data set, and if you use this particular data set without considering weight or multiplier into that, we'll get a sample statistics. And you use weight, or we can say multiplier, to make our sample statistics for the correspond to the population statistics. And this one is the formula of generating weight. We'll talk about this when we actually generate weight. Unique ID help us to merge different data files. So if you want to merge, it's not only on help to merge, but if you want to calculate a particular statistic at a particular level, say the household level, and if you are having a personal level information, so in that case, household unique ID help you to scale down personal level informations at a household level. So, in a case of merging, if you want to merge two household data file, this unique household ID help. Similarly, if you want to merge household with the personal level data set, so again the unique ID help. And these are the command for making a unique ID, household unique ID and personal unique ID. So we'll talk about all those things when we do the practical aspects. This one is for merging. Again, we will talk about this. So we can merge one household with the other household data file, household to personal level data file, and so on. So there is not much to discuss into that, into merging, appending, and in generation of weight and other things. So we'll discuss all these things when we actually generate these variables. So this one is generating a state variable, and these are some commands of tabulation. So you can use table and tabulate command for tabulation purposes. So this much in presentation. So let's move on to the practical aspects of this webinar, and there I will show you again how to make a dictionary file and how to use that dictionary file in a data extraction. So I'm stopping this presentation. So stop this one. So can we see this data window?
Yes.
Okay, so this one is this data window. So I'm opening a dictionary file for you. So I think this, are you able to see the dictionary file? I think will not be able to see the dictionary file.
No.
Can you see the dictionary file?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Let me present that one per house. That can't be presentable. Okay. I'm going to extract the data. So what I did, I made a dictionary file, and that dictionary file I placed into a directory file. So that, and as a first step, I told you to change your directory. And if you write the pw command, that shows you your present directory folder. So the present directory folder is in currently is document folder. So what I will make a changes, and for making a changes, I go into my folder where I saved my data file, open folder, and copy data path of the folder. Come on to data again. Type cd. I think you all know how to change the directory. So now directory has changed, and after then I type the command of data extraction. So if I type in file using dictionary name and dictionary name at present case is this one, hhfb underscore rb. I told you because this particular dictionary belongs to both first visit and revisit data sets, household app visit underscore revisit dictionary file. Then using this small bracket start, and then after data name, which one is in our case this. This comes into in a text format. So I type here txt and enter. So once I enter, look here, this data first reading out dictionary file. So in file dictionary, data start reading dictionary, and it is good, and data has been extracted. And the number of record is here 1,01,579 observations read. So here I have successfully extracted the first level of data set provided by NSSO. Which one is the household first visit data set? So I fully extracted household first visit data set using first dictionary file. And again, see here the dictionary format of the dictionary file looks like this: in file dictionary curly bracket start, then you are having the information, then curly bracket close, and I use this particular command, and using this command, I'm able to make extract dictionary file. And after then you save this one, you can say a household first visit and save. Now data set has been, and the same procedure will you can say apply for the other kind of the data set. But again, I am saying the most important thing is the how you make your dictionary file correctly. So let's move on to the making of dictionary file using Excel again. So once you train into that, there would be no problem anywhere, particularly in extracting the data set. So I'm going to stop this presentation and opening an Excel sheet for you, and there we will see how to make a dictionary file. So making, so I'm exit from here, clear, exit from here, opening up Excel sheet. Let me open that and and then I will share that with you. I was going to stop this one. So can we see the data layout file?
Yes.
Yeah, so this one is the data layout file. So what we do, since I opened the layout file, so for best you make a duplicate of it. You copy it from here at the top, copy and make a duplicate. The second sheet one is the state code, so make a duplicate of it. So this one become a duplicate of the layout file. Then save this one, and for making a dictionary file, if you recall the format of the dictionary file, that one is starting with the str. So you type str, and see the first layout file having a 32 variable, or you can say having a 32 up to 32 serial number. So what we do is scroll this down up to 32. So now str is ready. After then, if you remember, you are having a field length information. So this one is our field length. Copy from here, copy from here up to 32, copy this one and paste it as a number. Always remember, so go on to the paste spacer and paste it as a number. Because what happens sometimes, NSSO use a formula to get this number. So once you copy it and paste it here without using this number option, you may get a incorrect number here. So avoid that error. What we do, we paste it as a number. Then the third column one is concatenating of first and second column information. So you type equal concatenate, go on to the concatenate, select this two column, make enter. So instead of, so go on to the concatenate, click on first, if comma, then on second and enter. So you are having a str4. Scroll this one down. Our first column information of dictionary file is ready. That one is str, then number. After then you are having a variable number. So you may put here variable 1, variable 2, v1, v2 belong to variable in our case, and scroll this one down. This become your variable name. If you want to identify your variable name, then you write name of the variable. Third one is starting with the percentage. You type percentage here, scroll this down up to 32. This one become your percentage. Next column information one is same as like length. So copy it from here, paste it here. There we are having a S. So type S, copy it down. This become S. Second column information one is again concatenate of E column information, F column information, and G column information. So down. So now the second column information of layout file is ready. Sorry, third column information. The second one is variable name. Which one is D column here. The final one is the labeling of the variable. So we may put a inverted comma here. So this one comes under code. So down. Then after here you have to put a variable name, or you can say the description of the variable. So go on to here, copy this one, variable name, copy it from here and paste it here. So this become your variable name. Then after uncode this become like this. And use this concatenating, concatenate again, and concatenate I column information, J column information, and K column information. J column information and K column information. So now this one become a, so your last column of dictionary file is ready. So I told you once you have this, copy this one C column, D column, you may rename your D column, like now you know first variable belong to the file identification. So may you type file here, V2 belong to schedule. So you name it right now, or you may go ahead without naming it. So here you have a flexibility to use your own file name. So either you go with the V1, 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 V2, V3, and so on, or you name accordingly using and you name your variable using file name information. So what? So for making a dictionary file, what we require C column information, then D column information, H column information, and then L column information. Copy from this from here and paste it here. Look here, the information that would be pasted in between the curly bracket is ready now. So once this will be ready, open do file, write in file dictionary, curly bracket start, paste all these things there, close the do file with the curly bracket, save that do file, save that do file as a dictionary file, and you save the dictionary file in a folder where you save all your data set, or in your directory folder. And with that, dictionary file will be ready. And that much. So first level of dictionary file is ready. You repeat the same procedure with the other level of dictionary file and extract all the data set. So any doubt here? I am giving you a few minute break to you, so you can ask your doubt if you are having any doubt till now. So no one having any doubt. Fine. So having not down indicates only two things. Either you didn't understand anything or you understand everything. Yeah,
Could you repeat the making the process of making dictionary file?
Okay. So I was telling, if you did not understand anything, then I'm not a good teacher, and I do not deserve to be a teacher, you can say.
Sir, for once we have copied the information from the Excel in the dictionary, we'll just close the curly brackets. There's no other command, right?
No other command, right? Definitely.
Okay.
So let's discuss making a dictionary file again using Excel sheet. So we do. So let's move. Focus on the A column. In the A column, you are having only str information. So what we do? You type str and you scroll this one down like this. Okay. you will get str information in all rows. Or you can say the str letters in all rows. Second column one is the field length information that you copied from here. Look here, this one is your field length. So what we do, copy these informations, okay, the field length informations from layout file and paste it as a number. Again, I am saying as a number. If I copied this one from here, if I copy this one, paste it as a number only. So it was pasted like this. So now in a second column, you are having a informations regarding field length. In a third column, you have to use this concatenate command. So what we do for that, type equal, then type concatenate. So you till type you con, Excel start giving you option what you are using, concatenate, confidence, and so on. So you use first one, concatenate. So use this concatenate. So once you click this one, after clicking this one, select the first column information, then comma, then second column, and make a enter. Once you enter, first column and second column combined together. So it becomes str4 now. And look here in this rectangle in a left, you can say the below rectangle and below corner, you will see another square. So we have to click onto this square and scroll this one down. So once we do that, formula copied for each row, and in each row we will get a and B column informations together. So the second one, C column is ready. D column is your variable name. You may put here V1, V2. Select these first two V1 and V2, and again go onto that square, scroll this down, we'll get variable number in a sequence for all rows. E column one is percentage, just type percentage and scroll this one down, we will get percentage. F column one is field length information. So copy it B, paste it here, we will get field length information. G column is S, type S, scroll this one down, clicking on this right corner, right below corner square part, you will get S. H1 is again concatenate E, F, G. Scroll this one down, we'll get H column information. I1 is inverted comma stars. Scroll this one down, then for this file name, go onto this layout file, copy this information from here, paste it here, we'll get file information. Close this one with inverted comma, inverted double comma to say, and then you use concatenate command, we'll get the last column information. In the layout file, we required only C, D, H, and L columns information. So for that, we copied this one. Either you copied one by one, sometimes your Excel does not allow to copy multiple columns. So in that case, you can copy one by one. So copy C column, then after D column, and so on. If your Excel allow you to do, then we copy all these things. Okay, all these columns, C, D, H, L column. So copied all these things, paste it here. The major chunk of information required in a dictionary file is ready. Now you go on to the stata2 file editor. There we can type in file dictionary curly bracket start. In that curly bracket, paste all these informations. So copy it from here and paste it there. Then after you close with a curly bracket. And once you did that, save that as a dictionary file into your directory folder. And now your dictionary file is ready. Once your dictionary file is ready and both dictionary file and data file are in the same folder or in the same directory folder, use that particular command which I told you to use. I'm going to open that again, so I'm stopping presenting this Excel file and going to present again this data window before you. So I'm just a minute. So this one is the data window. So what we do, again I'm saying first check your directory file. I'm telling you to check your directory file because if you do not do so, you have to write an entire data path. So again, pw command is for checking the dictionary file. So now my current directory folder is not a folder from where I saved all data set. So what we do for that, I go onto the folder where I saved my all data set, open that folder, copy the path of the folder from there, and then type cd. Cd1 is the command for change directory. Under inverted comma, you type your path or paste your folder path and make entry. Now directory file has been changed. So look here, earlier it was document and now it become TLFS 2018-19. So it is a folder which where I saved all data, dictionary file, and other documents. After then, you just type in file, dictionary name. In my case, I name dictionary file as a HH underscore, sorry, HHFB. So this one is, so in file using one is the command. So dictionary file one is HHFB underscore RB dot DCT. This one is the file name of the dictionary file, first level of dictionary file. Then put this comma using under bracket. Now we require file name. If I go into my folder,
It's a curly bracket or it's like a parenthesis or a normal bracket?
it's a normal bracket.
Okay.
Normal small bracket. So this one is data. Sorry, data file name. So name of the data set, first digit household data set name is HH104 underscore FB underscore final TXT. So look here, after dictionary, I put a comma. So this one is the comma using HH104 underscore FB final text. So once I do this, data has been extracted. If you do not change your working directory, so in that case, I'm going to make a clear this one. What you need to do before this, so this one is your dictionary file. Let's suppose there is a dictionary file is a different folder and data file is in a dictionary, different folder. So in that case, you have to mention a path of the file here. So like in our case, since both are in the same folder, so I may write this command as like this using this line. So probably I have to put a inverted comma here. So this one is our data set. So what I do, instead of writing data name, I write an entire path here where I saved my dictionary file. Similarly, we do here. So we write the entire path, put the part under inverted comma, this PLFS 2000, and here this one, this becomes a path, and inverted comma. And click this one, it is saying not found. Okay, so probably I made mistake somewhere. Okay. But this one is the way when you are having a your data and dictionary file into a different folder. So instead of simply writing a HHV underscore RV dot dictionary, we have to write an entire path of the data file. I don't see any mistake.
So if an error is being returned as saying dictionary invalid, what does that mean?
Dictionary invalid, probably you made some mistakes while making a dictionary file.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so check percentage for as things. So somewhere you made a mistake. So that's why
Okay.
it's coming out dictionary invalid.
Okay, okay.
So I think that is for I think so. Now this one yes. Okay. So maybe this one. Okay. You can experiment with these things. Why this thing is not working? That's why I'm repeatedly telling you to place all your data, the file and other documents in a directory folder. So using this, the first round of uh, data file, we can say the household level data file is ready. Now let's move on to the making a unique household ID. And for that, we require to go through the README file. Not only for making a household unique ID, but again for generating a weight, we need to see the README file. So I'm stopping these presentations and going to show you the README file, and I will explain a bit what README file contains and how you read the README file. So I'm stopping this one. So can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this one is README file. So here the README file divided into two parts, part A and part B. So A part basically contains information regarding the data file. So there we get the data file name, number of observations, record length, and then after some remark, like the first file name, which one is here, hhv1.txt, having a 1,01,579 observations, and this we called household wise record for visit 1. For household revisit, this which one is the second data file, having a 1,34,527 observations, and this contains household records for visit 2, 3, and 4. Now let's here talk about the a bit about the you can say the description of PLFS. So PLFS is generally a modified, you can say, the version of earlier employment and unemployment survey data set. So earlier what NSSO used to do, NSSO surveyed each household at a one time only during the survey year. So let's suppose that if NSSO decide to survey 1 lakhs FSU blocks, or generally 1 lakh FSU block, NSSO survey 1 lakh household, number of FSU are quite less as compared to the number of household. But NSSO goes according to the division of FSU. Okay, let the thing simple so that you understand the data. Otherwise, I have to explain what is FSU. So let's forget about that. So let's suppose the NSSO decided to survey 1 lakh household. So NSSO what did? Divide all household in 4 equal numbers. So 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, and surveyed first 25,000 household in a first quarter, then second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So NSSO sometimes NSSO divide the month, choose the month in which month NSSO would like to do this second round of the survey. So in the first round, you can see, instead of saying going with the quarter, say that in first round of survey NSSO does in a chosen month, then second round in another month, and so on. So if a household surveyed one time, they're not going to survey it again in a earlier round. So in a earlier round, if you are getting a 1,000 household, then each household survey one time only. In this PLFS round, NSSO surveyed each household, you can say at most 4 times. That means if NSSO want to do a survey for 1 lakh household, so it divided 25,000 household. So when NSSO surveyed first 25,000 household first time in the first quarter, you can say. In the second quarter, NSSO resurveyed earlier 25,000 household and surveyed new 25,000, or you can say additional 25,000 new household in a second quarter of the survey. In a third quarter of the survey, NSSO surveyed 25,000 new household plus 50,000 old household. And in a fourth round, again, NSSO surveyed 25,000 new household and 75,000 old household. And because of that, here you are having a household level information in a 2 data file. The one is the first visit data file, where you are having a only those household information and first visit of household information. If that household visited twice or thrice, or that household revisited, in that case, information collected at a time of revisiting of those households are given in a separate file, which we call household revisit data file. And because of that reason, you are having a 2 household data file, first visit, revisit. And NSSO, you can say, does the data has been released. So did this revisit things only in a case of urban area or urban household. So NSSO did not revisit or resurveyed rural household. NSSO surveyed only urban household several times in a survey area. And the purpose of, you can say, the one purpose of doing this is NSSO want to capture the dynamics of the labor market. And because of that, NSSO visit each household in each quarter, and each household survey at least 4 times during the successive 2 survey year. So the first survey year was the 2017-18, and the second survey year is 2018-19. So NSSO fixed a 2 survey years, and 2 year for surveying at least or at most 4 times of each household during this 2 year. So it goes something like this. Urban, I'm talking about the urban area only. So in the urban area, first 25,000 household surveyed in the first quarter of first year. In the second quarter, NSSO revisited 25,000 household of first quarter and surveyed 25,000 new household. In the third quarter, as I said to you, NSSO resurveyed 50,000 household and surveyed 25,000 new household. In the fourth quarter, surveyed 25,000 old household and 25,000 new household. So when NSSO released the first year survey data set, NSSO provided information of 1 lakh. 1 lakh is I taken this number for my convenience, more than 1 lakh. So 1 lakh for, so NSSO visited 1 lakh household first time, and 75,000 household at least 2 times in that year. So 25,000 household 3 times, 50,000 household 2 times. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. So 25,000 is new. This 75,000 was the resurveyed household. So out of that 25,000 surveyed twice, 50,000. 25,000 surveyed thrice, 50,000. It's not thrice, it's 4 times. 25,000 surveyed 4 times, 75,000 surveyed 3 times, and 50. I made a mistake. If we exclude the first visit, then only 3 visits remain. If you account the first visit, then first visit household surveyed 4 times. One as a first visit, like the first 25,000 household surveyed 4 times. One as a first visit and 3 as a revisit. In the second quarter, since 50,000 households surveyed, so these 50,000 household surveyed during entire year. So out of these 50,000, 25,000 surveyed 3 times and 25,000 surveyed 4 times. So you go accordingly. So NSSO, when we go through the document, NSSO made a table relating to it and say that the last 25,000 households surveyed, household who surveyed in fourth quarter resurveyed again in a next year of NSSO survey, which one is the 2018 and 19. So in this year, in the revisit household data file, we'll find a 25,000 household on the other. Again, it's just a number. So that much household who were surveyed first time in a previous year survey year. So if you want to work with those household, we have to include 25,000 household from the first survey year. So it is a bit complicated to work with this particular round. So I'm telling you if you want to work the entire sets of the household, which one is the 1 lakh is here and 1 lakh is in 2 years. So when we combine all together, we'll get a kind of panel data set. Of course, this one is a 2-year panel, but you will get a panel. So in that panel, each household surveyed 4 times. So that much in regarding a brief description of this data PLFS, and that it's a sense of relating what is first visit and revisit. So for more detailing, you may have a look on the report. From here, you will get a much better understanding of what is first visit, revisit, what are the purposes of doing this first visit, revisit. The second other two data sets are the person-wise record for first visit and revisit. So if you want to work with the first visit data set, we need to combine household level with the personal level first visit data set, and that we do with the help of merging. So still 15 minutes left. So probably I will cover the merging also, and at least we will cover how to make a unique ID both at a household level and personal level, and rest of the things we will do in the next class. So as I was telling to you, in a README file, PLFS README file divided into two parts, part A and part B. Part A contains information regarding the data set, and part B contains information regarding how to create a unique household ID and how to generate weight. Again, this table where you talked about the quarter first visit data set, this I were talking about. You can see that one. So for making a unique household ID, we require to use information given in a fifth number. So in a fifth item or number, what we see the information regarding quarter, visit, FSU, Hamlet group, secondary startup, and sample household number. So using this variable, we easily generate unique household ID for each of the household, and we can identify a particular household with those ID. So we will use this information. Again, I am saying quarter, visit, FSU, Hamlet group, second stage startup, and sample household number for making household ID. For making a personal ID, we add another variable which is personal serial number. Here in the last information one is the household serial number. Here it is sample household number. If you add another variable, that is the personal serial number, that generate a personal each person ID, unique ID. So this information we will use for generating a unique ID for household and for each person. For multiplier, you use third item information, which one is the use of sample wise weights. And in this particular case, you use this final weight. So for generating a weight, we always work with this final weight. Since PLFS provide information quarter wise, and we want to calculate the statistics quarter wise, we generate a weight variable using this particular formula and use that in your calculation. But if you want to generate a statistics for an entire year, we require to divide the final weight by 4, which one is the number of quarters, which one is written here in a fourth item. For generation of combined estimate for entire year, we have to divide MLTS by 4. So while generating a new weight, we require to divide MLT not only by 200 but also by 4.
Sorry, sir, I didn't understand this weight concept. Could you please repeat it once again?
For multiplier thing.
The weight concept, like why we apply weight and how you are dividing it across the quarters and the year.
No, survey. This survey data are the sample data set. Okay. So if you want to calculate a population statistics, in that case, we need to use weight into your calculation, so that your whatever statistics will get, that correspond to the population statistics, not sample statistics. Let's suppose that we want to calculate the monthly per capita expenditure for rural and urban area. So that would be basically the average per capita expenditure for in rural and urban area. if you go without using weight, then whatever figures you get for average consumption, that figure, you can say the figures are simple figures for rural and urban area. Like, let's suppose I'm making a hypothetical figure. We may get a 100 and 120 for rural and urban area respectively. 100 and 120 as a sample figure. But if you apply weight, then your figure may change. Right? Generally, it gets changed. Instead of getting 100, you may get a, you can say 102 and 130. So do not compare it. Sir, what is the difference between 100 and 102? But one statistics represent a sample statistics, one is the population statistics. And our task is always to get a population statistic. We do not bother about the sample statistics. We always bother about the population statistics, particularly when you work with the NSSO kind of data set. And because of that, we use it. Okay, you are telling something. Hello? Is it clear to you now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the fourth part one is saying, so I'm saying the final weight formula is used for generating weight, and when you work with the quarterly, and if you want to generate a quarterly statistics and a quarter-wise statistics, let's suppose again in our earlier example where I'm talking about the average consumptions in case of rural and urban area, so that if you want to calculate the quarter-wise average consumptions for rural and urban area, so in that case you use the final weight generated using this formula. But if you want to get any statistics of average consumptions for entire year, instead of going a quarter-wise average consumption, you have to divide this MLT not only by 200 but also with 4. So you have to divide MLT by 800 instead of 200. So that's why written here for annual estimates, MLT may be divided by number of quarters. So this one.
Sir, I have
Yes.
one query. Hello. Sir, what does NSS equal to NSC mean for? I did not get that one.
The information regarding this one is given in your data set. Once you open your data set, you will get information. So the full form of it, I'm unable to recall. Okay. So it is a way, so NSSO we can generate sometimes, since okay, even I'm unable to record, the formula is given in the data set also. The formula is also given in one document, which one is the instructions to field start. So you just have a look of that, you will get a formula of generating NSS and NSC. Full form I'm missing right now. Sorry. But information regarding this you will get in the data set. And that one is a ready-made information. You do not have to do anything with that. Just use that information.
Okay.
So any other doubt here?
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to the calculation part. Still you are having 8 minutes. So I'm stopping this presentation. I'm presenting its data. So this one is this data window. So for generating household unique ID, as I told to you, we require to use variable, digit, quarter, FSU, Hamlet group, household serial number.
Excuse me,
Yes.
sir. Sir, could you please just show that how to create a dictionary file into editor, because I'm getting continuously the same error
Do
that
editor.
invalid dictionary. Yeah, into editor.
I tried to share the do editor, but it didn't succeed. So that's why I didn't did that part.
I was also
That
getting
is,
the error of
the window is not shareable. Okay. So okay. What you do after this presentation? Either you mail your or you can discuss that things over the Telegram group. Shivani is there. She is an expert in all those things. She will help you. Shivani, you please help her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's move ahead. Okay, we'll discuss about that error later. In a generating unique household ID, what we do, we use engine command. So we type engine, then we name our unique ID variable. Since you are creating a unique household ID, so me I type UHID, unique household ID, equal. Then I concatenate again. Concat, as we did in case of concatenating Excel column, concat, and then I type first visit. Visit. So I go onto the variable window, double click over the visit variable, it's called visit. Then after okay. Then after we go on to the quarter. So where is quarter? It is on top. Digit, quarter. Then FSU. Then we select Hamlet group. Here I type SG. You may name it as HG, Hamlet group, instead of SG. And then after triple S, which one is the second stage startup, and HHID one is household serial number in my case. Close this and enter. Now unique household ID created. If we use codebook command, codebook UHID, then it shows you unique value is 1,01,579 observation, and it is nothing else but it is our number of observation. Since you are working with the NSSO household data set, and in this you are having information of this much of household, and you use the previous command, engine command 1 is for generating a household ID. So NSSO and its data generated a unique ID for each of the household. Now you can browse UHID and see the unique household ID numbers. So since I concatenated visit, quarters, and other information, so it is coming out as like this. Sometimes we do not require this one is visit and quarters. But if you work only since here you are working with the first visit data file, so it is okay to go ahead with this. But when we work with the both first visit and revisit data file, and if you want to work first visit and revisit household data file, then do not go ahead with this. Though in a case of merging, I entirely use a different, you can say the command. But if you want to merge with the unique household ID, do not create a unique household ID using visit and quarter. So this one is another way with the older data set. Since in the older data set, visit and quarter information was not there. So we create unique household ID just using FSU, Hamlet group, triple S, and one is the second stage startup and household serial number information. So again, it give you the same uh, uh, unique household ID. The later one we can use with the other, you can say NSSO survey, and the first one you may use with the PLFS survey. The later one can also be used in case of PLFS. And actually, when we work both first visit and revisit, we use this particular unique household ID, especially um, when we require to generate a particular statistic or obtain a particular statistic, combining information given in personal file and household file at a household level. So you use, in that case, you use this particular household ID. So it is up to your system which one you use at what time. Now let's move on to the for generating a personal unique ID, we require to merge household file with the personal data file. So I'm not doing that since it's already 4. What I am going to do, I am generating a weight or multiplier variable for you. For generating a weight, we have to type generate weight equal to, the formula was MLT divided by 100 if NSS equal to NSC. So same you do here. So we type MLT1 is okay, I have to rename with checking. Let me. So 29 serials number information one is NSC, 30 is NSC, and 31 is multiplier. Here it is 12, 13, and 14. So if I rename, use a rename just to not confuse myself. So the 12th become NSS. So this one become NSS. Being already defined. NSS region. So rename first this one NSS R. This become NSS region. The earlier one become NSS. So this one is NSS. Then you are having information of this one is NSC, and then you are having an information of MLT. So this become MLT. So now you are having an NSS, NSC, and MLT. Use this one for generating weight. So this generate weight equal to MLT divided by 100 if NSS equal to NS. It's showing a type mismatch. Again, important thing why you are showing a type mismatch. So if you open your data, you can see the all data are labeled in a red color. So given in a red color. That means your data set is in string format. So first you have to de-string, because I use string then after later. So you have to replace this string, comma replace. So once we enter this command, this string variable, sorry, string variable become these strings. So save this one. Now you can use this particular formula for generating weight. Let's work. Then replace weight equal to MLT divided by 200 for others. So replace MLT divided by 200. But look here, when we use this particular process, that means you made a mistake. What mistake is here? We replaced earlier formula which one is NSC equal to NSC with the MLT divided by 200. So go in a reverse way, and that reverse one is the right way basically. So generate weight equal to MLT divided by 200. So first you drop weight. So do not confuse. So generate weight equal to MLT divided by 200, and then replace weight. I'm writing the same formula but in a different sequence. So the replace weight MLT divided by 100 if NSS equal to NSC. So now 139 real changes has been made. And now you can browse your weight variable which we have just generated. So this one become your weight. Now it is in integer. We may bring it in a can say in a round number. So generate, we may say weight 1 equal to round. So non-integer become integer. So wait. I'm telling you because first weight variable you can use in case of generating average statistics, but we want to generate a number, we require to use the second weight. So in a case of number, when we apply weight, data comes with a error that weight is in non-integer form. So for a number we use integer weight variables. So these are the two weight. One is in decimal, one is in decimal.
Hello, sir.
So, yes.
Sir, please can you explain once more this weight concept? That why one time we are dividing it with 100 and another time with 200, and this is quite confusing for me.
No, so not no. In a earlier case I made a mistake, and that one is the you can say the mathematical error. So in a first case when I generating using MLT divided by 100, and then
Yes,
after
sir.
I replacing weight MLT divided by 100, so the first one become it's the second one replace the first one. So the first one become invalid basically. Because I replaced everything with the by 200, dividing MLT by 200. So every observation information replaced with the new information, which one is the MLT divided by 200. So there is no sense of doing first thing. So that one is a mathematical error. Okay. So, and the later one is the correct procedure. When I divide MLT with the 200 first, and then I made a changes with only those observations where NSS equal to NSC. The rest of the observation remains same.
Okay.
In earlier case, every observation was changed. Like in a bracket information was given. In earlier case, 1,01,440 missing observation generated, but the whole entire data set replaced with the new information.
Okay.
So earlier
Thank
was
you.
in earlier things there was a mistake, mathematical error you can say that one. The second one is the correct procedure.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So any other doubt? So I'd like to stop here. In the next class, what we do, we do merging. We see the usage of weight. So we calculate average statistics. We calculate statistics, different statistics in number. You use table command. You use tabulate command for making different type of tables. And
excuse me, sir.
yes.
I have one more doubt regarding which you were telling that while dealing with health and education data, that observation problem comes. So can you please explain once more that how to deal with it?
The solution of that is you open your data file, go into the last observation, the last entry, and make a duplicate of that.
Okay.
And save that data file. So
Okay.
that is the only one solution. Go into the last entries, make a duplicate of that, and save the data file. And
Okay,
after then,
sir.
when you do extraction, you will get a correct number of observations.
This we will have to do in our dictionary file.
No, data file.
In data file. Okay.
Data file. So data file is in text format. So open that using text and go on to the last entries. Again, I am saying, and make a duplicate of that.
Okay,
And
sir.
I believe this solution I got to know after doing several experiments. This would be a solution. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So in the next class, probably, we'll finish everything, whatever I told you to finish in a first hour. In a second hour, we'll generate few employment indicators, and in that we'll learn how to generate labor force participation rate, workforce participation rate, and unemployment rate using both usual status and weekly status approach. Basically, we work with the usual status. If you do not have any conceptual understanding about how the employment, unemployment is being created, so I think it would be better if you go through the document, and there you will find each and every detail regarding the workforce participation, labor force participation, and unemployment rate. Workforce participation one is the very, very important. So go through the definition of all these things, because once you have a prior information about all these things, it would be, and it would help you to understand the command, understand this data command, because data command, not only data command, every command written in the context of whatever theory suggests to do. So once you know the information about the different aspect of employment and unemployment, it will be good for you. So that's not any other doubt.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
So while creating the dictionary file, you use the percentage. So what is the significance of percentage?
Sorry, even I do not know the answer of this question, what signifies this percentage, but as far as you can just take that as a format. Okay, so that one is the format. I think someone expert who I'm not that much expert in the technical aspect of this data. It's not an instead as a programming language, so I'm not expert of that.
Okay.
So sorry for this.
Okay.
Any other doubt?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, in the while creating the dictionary file, in the first column we have put str for all the variables. As my understanding goes, str stands for string, right?
Yes, definitely. Right.
So what about the numeric variable? So is it necessarily that all the variables have to be in the string format?
Yeah, I think it would be good if you go ahead with that, because sometimes what happens, particularly when you work with the older data set, okay, even in the case of numeric value, we get a non-numeric the numeric variable, we get a non-numeric value, and that probably because of typo and some other kind of error. So it would be always better to extract the data set in a string format, and later you will de-string. So while in the de-string, if you get a particular variable which having a non-numeric characteristics, that data set we can say fail to convert into a numeric form. So So at that time, you can easily identify though this data set is a numeric data set but having a non-numeric number. And then you can check what kind of non-numeric number the data set is having, and you can remove that non-numeric number from your data set.
Sir, in the beginning, you mentioned from which round onwards do we have the data layout file in the Excel format?
I think 99, 2001 you are having, but you have to of course, 2001, sorry, 2004, 5 onward, you are definitely having a layout in a Excel format.
Okay, thank you.
Because I haven't worked with the 99, 2000 data set yet, so
Okay.
I do not know about that. But I have worked with the 93, 94 and previous round of data set, and that we get in a text format.
Okay, okay, thank you. Sir, can you please again show the process of creating that dictionary file in a Do editor, or just type the command that we have to use to create it?
You open Do editor, type in file dictionary,
Yeah.
curly bracket start,
Yes, sir.
then left that row in another row with the second row,
Yeah.
paste all entries whatever
Yes.
you made in a Excel.
Yeah.
Left that last row in another row, or
Yeah.
after that we put this close with the curly bracket.
Okay.
Save that one. Go on to save as.
Yeah.
Okay. When we click onto that, save file as a dictionary file.
Hmm.
Save that dictionary file is ready.
But then why this error is coming up again and again? Invalid dictionary.
I mean, that we will discuss later. Probably you are making mistakes somewhere. Okay, so let's wait a bit. Okay, Shivani is there. After this, you consult to Shivani or write a. I've discussed that one onto a Telegram so that the other can also see. Probably other will also make a similar kind of error while doing so. Okay. Okay. And if required, then I will share my dictionary file with you along with the Excel file, and you will check whether you are making what kind of error. Okay. Any other doubt? And it generally happens when we extract data set. This kind of problem comes, particularly when you work with the first time. Even Shivani had a many experience when he made mistakes many times. Even I had mistakes when I started working with the NSSO data set. Though at my time there was no Excel, no one at that time who teach me how to work with the how to make a dictionary file in such a easy way. We all did by doing experiments. Okay, trial and error method. I tried one method that didn't work. Tried another method. Okay, so it's happened. So keep experimenting. Keep identifying your error. Okay, a time comes when your data set works. And anyway, we are here to help you, so don't worry much. Okay, any other doubt?
There is a request in chat box. Will you share recording of this lecture?
Okay, I have recorded that. I put on. Let me check whether that is still recording or not. Okay, it is recording. So I'll share my recording with all of you.
Okay.
Any other queries? Okay, so I'm stopping this. Okay, I'm stopping my presentation. It's still presenting. I'm going to end this call. We'll see you day after tomorrow at the same time. And try to join early, a bit early. Many of you joined very late, so I request you all of you to join a bit early. Okay, then thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.